confiscate the money. That girl is a real proud thief. Small world, all her friends know me.
So we are back with another episode of the Reindeer MyLEAGUE in 2K17. Last episode, it's another season of the Reindeer MyLEAGUE, and we won another championship against the 76ers in the finals. It is a great overall year for the team, obviously, as we just had a lot of fun, and the team just basically performed very well as a unit. But in the offseason, though, one thing big happened, obviously, and that was the trading of Nikola Jokic plus Greg Popovich retiring from the team after over 20 years in the NBA. So the Pop, he's gone, but he brought in a new coach, David Fizdale, and plus he brought in James Harden as our assistant coach to come and coach the team. So I guess it's a big changes, but I mean, it's changes for the good, I guess, because it brings the team forward. Plus the Jokic deal, we had to go and trade him just based on that our team was making too much salary and just couldn't go and handle all the players on the team at once. Because at this point in the franchise mode, we were basically backed up at salary. Like, we have no money at all to sign any players. But right now, we have Maxwell, Knight, Jackson, O'Neal, and in the starting lineup. Finally, we have Sharif O'Neal in the starting lineup at last. But now when it comes to power rankings, though, we are first in all power rankings as usual. So we're on pace to go and win the NBA championship once again, according to all the NBA analysts right now. But we start the season 10-0, 11-0, 12-0. As usual, we're playing very well in the regular season, at least in the beginning of the regular season. As right now, we're 17-0 on the season, heading into our first loss here, 131-119 loss against the Magic. We always lose against the weirdest teams, like the Magic. They're not that even great of a team, yet we lose to them all the time, so it's kind of weird there. But right now we're 33-1, we're just killing it so far on the season. Usually we have these huge winning streaks, like 21 games in a row, like 25 right now, I guess, games in a row you won. Then we go and lose one, then we go and win like another 25 games in a row. So I mean, this team loves their winning streaks, especially in the beginning of the season though, where we only lose like 2 or 3 games. But head to the All-Star break, 55-2 on the season. As you check out the All-Stars for this season, you have Jonathan Isaac, Giannis Antetokounmpo this season, obviously he's very good. And you have DeAndre Ayton as an All-Star this season, plus Nikola Jokic as an All-Star in his first season back to the Nuggets ever since they went and made him unprotected in the expansion draft where you wouldn't go in and pick them. But plus we also have Josh Jackson on the All-Star team for this. I don't know how many times he's been on there though. Josh Jackson's so underrated in this game though. I don't know why he's not an All-Star every year, same with Ayton. But right now, a Stars tournament, same old kind of players. We have Troy Harrington though on the elite, so you finally have one player on the All-Star Young Stars tournament. But MVP right now, you have DeAndre Ayton plus Josh Jackson there in 4th place. Then 6th man, we have nobody there. Defensive player of the year, we have DeAndre Ayton plus Josh Jackson in 4th place. So MVP, same kind of thing there, and DPOY. But we re-signed Sharif O'Neal there, we re-signed Josh Jackson on the season, and we go and re-sign Kenny Knight to another contract. So Kenny Knight, he's killing it so far, 89 overall when he's usually not injured, but right now he's injured. Plus we can't go and sign our backup point guard Neil Horsley. We selected 5th overall in that draft, I believe, with Kenny Knight. But right now that is the All-Star game right there. DeAndre Ayton had a great game in that one. Besides Malik Monk, I think, who took home All-Star game MVP right now. 64-2 on the season. We're just killing it so far. Probably trying to go and break the NBA record at a record of 74-1-4. But right now we start losing a few games right there, and we end up the season 76-6. We tie our record once again, as DeAndre Ayton is MVP for a second time in his career there. But DPOY goes to DeAndre Ayton once again, so he has 7 DPOYs on his career. Plus we have Paul Strickland as most improved on the Clippers. Plus we have David the Fizdale as coach of the year, as his first year as the coach of the Reindeer. But DeAndre Ayton, obviously a lock for all NBA first team for once. We have Nikola Jokic on there for all NBA first team too. So one Reindeer, one former Reindeer on all NBA first team. Second team, we finally have Josh Jackson on there as all NBA second team. Third, all defensive first team, you have DeAndre Ayton plus Josh Jackson on the second defensive team. So when Josh Jackson is healthy, he's usually a top player in the NBA. Last year wasn't an all-star, all-team player or all-star player last year, just based on he's injured the entire season. But this season, it looks like DeAndre Ayton, 23.5 points per game, 17.2 rebounds. I mean, he had a killer this year, obviously. That's the reason why he's MVP of the league. But DeAndre Ayton led us in rebounds and points this season, too. Just pretty usually weird to see that. Usually, either Kenny Knight, Josh Jackson, or even our point guard usually lead that. So it's kind of odd to see that there. But 76 double-doubles out of DeAndre Ayton out of 82 games in the season. That's just incredible to see that. As the Miami Heat are our first-round matchup, for quarterfinals matchup here. As the Heat, we have a lot of injuries. Aiden Knight and Matt George all out here, so we're not expecting to win the championship this year with all those injuries on our roster, but we win game 1, take a 1-0 lead here in the series, as Giles put up 16-15 for a double-double there, as our team came together. Sharif O'Neal had a great game, but game 2, you take game 2 to go up 2-0 here, as Sharif 41-11 for a double-double there, as Maxwell puts up 28, Josh Jackson 19-11 for a double-double there, as Buddy Hield puts up 22-5, but not enough as we go and win game 2, but game 3, we take game 3 to go up 3-0 here, as Giles puts up 32-20 for a double-double there, as the Heat just didn't play well enough, as Josh Jackson and the Reindeer 20-19 out of Josh Jackson in the game. Incredible game out of him. But heading into game 4, trying to go and sweep the Miami Heat. For I don't know how many times in a row we faced them in the playoffs, but we win this 138-100 final as we go and sweep Miami Heat. For I don't know how many times in a row we faced them in the playoffs, but man, we swept them so many times. As Giles had a great game, the rest of the Heat did not perform at all, including Buddy Hield in that last game. But the Rockets, we're facing the Rockets there in the semifinals, as they have Justin Anderson. But other than that, though, we have James Harden as our assistant coach, so facing his former team. I mean, we have everything over them at this point except all of our injuries, but we take game 1 here to go up 1 here, as Maxwell puts up 21 points in that one, a great game at him, but they have Thonmaker puts up 23-12 for double-double there. But game 2, we take game 2 to go up 2-0 here in this series, and Maxwell puts up 32 in that game. Sharif had 17-19 for double-double there, as we had a great overall game against the Rockets in game 2. So game 3, trying to go and win 7 games in a row in the playoffs, so we do to get 3-0 lead in the semifinals. As Thonmaker, a great game at him, but Maxwell 24 and Josh Jackson 18-13 for double-double there, as we will and beat the Rockets in 3 games so far in this series. So now we're up 3-0 here in this series, trying to go and sweep the Rockets again, as we do that 133-99 final. We beat them by 34 and sweep the Rockets for I don't know how many times in a row again, as Matt George has a great game in the elimination game for the Rockets, though. He had a great overall game. Usually Matt George doesn't show up just based on he's a bench player, but we face off against the Phoenix Suns here in the WCF, and they have a pretty good roster, though. Jason Tatum is a very good player in this franchise mode, so he's a guy to watch here. As we have Aiden and Knight, both of these series, it's not looking good, as we take a 0-1 deficit here in the WCF against the Phoenix Suns. So they win game 1 here of the WCF. Jackson puts up 34 points, 13 rebounds for a double-double there, as Maxwell puts up 25, and O'Neal 19-20. But not enough there, as Jason Tatum had a great game for the Suns. So game 2, they take game 2, the second game in the North Pole, 96-84 final, very low-scoring game for the usual NBA. But Hammond puts up 5 and 14 there, as Jason Tatum unstoppable there, 24 points in that one. But game 3, we take game 3, first game in Phoenix, we take that one, 116-105 final, as Sharif puts up 25 and 21 for a double-double there, as Josh Jackson 21 and 18, another double-double. But game 4, they take that one. Now they're up 3-1 here in the series against us, as right now they're shooting the ball very well. Maxwell's playing very well, 29 points in that one, 10 for 19 shooting, but the rest, I mean, we're just not shooting the ball right. Heading into game 5 of the WCF, and we actually win this one, 140-135 final, as we go and starve off elimination to make it a 3-2 series here in the WCF, as Sharif unstoppable there, unrelentless here, as he takes this game in his hands and wins it for the Reindeer in the final seconds. So heading into game 6 of the WCF, trying to go and tie this one up and force a game 7, but no, we can't do it. 102-95 final, as we go and get eliminated from the playoffs for the first time ever since, I guess, 2 seasons ago. But the Suns, just too good of a team, plus we had injuries. That's why we lost, most likely. It's just because of DeAndre Ayton and Kenny Knight not having their presence felt because they're injured. But the finals are the 76ers and the Suns. Sixers take it in, I believe, 6 games, and the Sixers are champions once again. So Markelle Fultz is your finals MVP, 88 overall. He had a great overall season and finals performance there, as I mean, check out our playoff stats, though. It looks like he had a great overall playoffs, though. I mean, Sharif O'Neal took the team in his hands. He was a true leader here in these playoffs. And it's really weird to see a team without DeAndre Ayton and Kenny Knight, as their team just kind of, I don't know, gave up, I guess, in the end. But retirements, we do have Nick Batum, we do have Greg Monroe, Blake Griffin, Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson, as a member of the LA Lakers. So Klay Thompson going back to his roots here and going home there to go and finish off his career. But Klay Thompson, great overall career. But Nick Batum did retire as a Laker too. So Nick Batum, 18 years in the NBA. I was surprised to see him as the longest NBA career right there in the old retirees. But when it comes to Blake Griffin, though, Blake Griffin spent his entire career with the LA Clippers. I love that kind of basically loyalty to him. But Jimmy Butler spends his entire career with the Chicago Bulls, and Klay Thompson spends all of his career except with 1 year with the Golden State Warriors. So a lock for jersey retirements are, I believe, those 3, as Jimmy Butler and Blake Griffin are all your Hall of Famers, and Klay Thompson, Jimmy Butler, and Blake Griffin are your jersey retirements for their teams. So leagues, no rules approved this season. As heading to the draft lottery here, we do not have really a big pick here. We have the 7th overall pick via Denver. So when it comes to that, though, we do end up getting the 9th overall pick, so we drop down 2 spots here to the Wizards. We're going to go and try and trade for, I believe, the 3rd overall pick from OKC. We take that one via like a lot of picks there, as now trying to move up to 2nd overall here. And we have to give up a lot there to get 2nd overall, as the Trailblazers accept that one. We get the 2nd overall pick. So, in the draft, trying to go and either acquire Mac Winter or Dwight Howard Jr. with our pick, 2nd overall in 2026 NBA draft.
With the first pick in the NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select the 20-year-old big man from the University of California. The second pick in the NBA draft, Mac Winter from the University of Utah. With the third pick in the NBA draft, the Portland Trailblazers select Brooke Brand from the University of California, San Diego. With the fourth pick in the NBA draft, the Boston Celtics select Lowell Stone from Providence College. With the fifth pick in the NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Tom Stallworth. We have a trade to announce. With the sixth pick in the NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Greg Frazier from Duke University. With the seventh pick in the NBA draft, the Washington Wizards select Leonard Grove from George Mason University. We have a trade to announce. With the eighth pick in the NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Tom Armstrong from the University of Cincinnati. We have a trade to announce. With the ninth pick in the NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Greg Lowe from Marquette University. We have a trade to announce. With the 10th pick in the NBA draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Daniel McDaniel from the University of Washington. We have a trade to announce. With the 11th pick in the NBA draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select the 20-year-old power forward from Fresno State.
So this draft class, one of the best draft classes I've ever seen so far in this MyLEAGUE, as Dwight Howard Jr. goes 1st overall, and to the Kings. So we couldn't get Dwight Howard Jr., but we did end up getting a pretty good consolation prize, as we get Mac Winter, 84 overall, their second overall pick. Third overall is Brooke Brand with 81 overall. So this draft class is amazing compared to last year, I think a 72 overall went first overall. So I mean, the difference between some of these draft classes is amazing, as he got all basically the right picks for this draft. But Paul Millsap Jr. goes, I believe, 11th overall there to the Thunder, as there's a few juniors of former NBA players. I want to get at least one of those guys, but I mean, Paul Millsap Jr. wasn't really that good enough for our roster. Plus, Dwight Howard Jr. had to go first overall. I really wanted to get him, but just couldn't get him, as we got Mac Winter instead. But all our options, we go and accept all our options there for team options. As declined options in the NBA, we have Michael Porter, 88 overall. He declines his player option, as the rest, we have like Hartenstein declines his. Other than that, not the greatest there. As we go and qualify Neil Horsley here, our only free agent here, as the chances of us getting him back are very low just based on our salary situation. So Neil Horsley, we go and just send him an offer anyway. As Harry Giles, De'Aaron Fox, Michael Porter, Lonzo Ball, Trayvon Duval, Wendell Carter, Paul Strickland, our former player there, and Emmanuel Moody are your free agents this season. So great overall free agent class. As we try and trade Tyler Lydon to the Heat for guys making a little less salary there in Sam Brown. So we got Bowen there from the Heat, but we go and try and trade AJ Hammonds to the Chicago Bulls for a first round pick. And we go and trade Sam Bowen to the Trailblazers for a first round pick to go and dump some salary. As we go and sign Kevin Love, Steph Curry, DeMarcus Cousins, and DeAndre Jordan. And I guess it's a little bit downgrade. They're 75 and above, but I mean, they're still great players that can maybe contribute to our team next year, as looks like Neil Horsley was signed by the Golden State Warriors. So we take Steph Curry from them, and they take Neil Horsley from us, as next year is the draft summit. Our draft summit is got a pretty good draft class. They have Chad Strong, 83 overall. We got Simon Brooks, 79 overall. And we got Jesse Mitchell, who is very good. Cole's very good there, as all these guys are 75 and above, and there's at least 9 players here. So this draft class next year, gonna look very amazing. Those 79s that way down, or there in the box score, is amazing. As we're gonna go trade DeAndre Jordan to the Clippers there for a first round pick, or a second round pick there, as we need him to stay in LA to be loyal. But anyway, I guess in this episode off here, make sure to like, subscribe for more Reindeer MyLEAGUE. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.